You want to know how fast your world can tilt? Let me tell you, it doesn't happen when the city goes quiet at 3 a.m. and all you can hear is concrete cooling. No, the real silence, the kind that has breath and pulse and makes you think anything's possible. That's the silence that brought me here. It's why I worked double shifts for years, why I saved every dime I could, and why I paid cash for these 10 stubborn acres out past the last mailbox. I used to think peace came easy out here. Every morning, coffee in hand, old Mabel flopped across my boots, the hills catching fire in the sunrise like God was showing off just for us. I thought I'd bought that feeling, that I could hold on to it. But peace is a promise, not a guarantee, and some mornings you wake up and realize you're the only one still honoring the deal. That was the morning boots cracked on dry dirt outside my shed, and I heard the cold metallic chatter of survey gear. Not the kind you fix fences with, the kind that means big plans, big money, and not a bit of it meant for you. At first, I thought maybe a hunter was lost, or the county sent someone to mess with the easement. But 3 men in neon vests, carrying a tripod with a laser scope, weren't lost. They were claiming something. My ridge. They had tablets and poles and attitudes that made it clear. Whatever they were here to measure, it didn't include my consent. I stood in the mist, coffee steaming, and watched them mark my ground like it was their own personal treasure map. 6 years of walking this land. You learn the way the ground gives after rain, the way it crunches in drought, the way the trees lean when a storm's coming. I didn't need paperwork to know these men didn't belong. I started up the hill, boots heavy, heart heavier, and by the time I reached them, my voice was the only thing not shaking. Morning. Mind telling me what the hell you're doing on my land? The heavy-set one with the sunburned neck didn't even flinch, just nodded at the younger guy. We're with Harper Engineering, topo for the C4 expansion, community pool and parking access, future amenities. My jaw clenched. Community pool, parking lot, on my land. You're not listening. This is private property. But the kid was ready, flipping open a folder like a game show host. There it was, a color-coded zoning map, my 10 acres painted over with bright lines. Authorization from Green Peaks Reserve. I almost laughed. The HOA fortress across the road. I'd never joined. That was the point. But there it was, my land, reduced to a colored block. Public infrastructure, they said. My mother's house, now an access road. My vegetables, a future parking lot. Filed with the county, the kid said, all smooth and smug. Part of the expansion plan. I didn't shout. Didn't argue. Some anger burns too cold for that. I just walked away, past the chicken coop, into the house. The Remington leaned easy in the cabinet. I didn't even load it, just slung it across my shoulder and walked back. Stopped right where their tire tracks bit into my field. You've got 30 seconds, I said, voice flat as winter. Or I'm calling this in as armed trespassing. They scattered. One dropped a tablet. The heavy-set man lingered, voice almost apologetic. Wasn't our call. You should check your records. They filed with the county. Then he was gone, and I was alone again, coffee cold, heart colder. By noon I was parked outside the county recorder's office, knuckles white, wishing I could wring the truth out of the whole damn place. Last time I was there, I walked out with a deed and a grin, mortgage-free, free as I'd ever been. I still had those papers. But now, the clerk, tight shirt, tie like a noose, squinted at his screen and said, Parcel 742, currently reassigned to Green Peaks Reserve HOA, under Administrative Transfer Code 12B. I said, I am the rightful owner. He shrugged. Not in the system, you're not. Your deeds are flagged as in review, administrative challenge by the HOA. Says your parcel was missed in 2010. Might be a trustee issue. I felt my fists clench. I bought it fair. Cash. Surveys. Taxes. Everything. He sighed, not even looking at me. File an audit. Might take weeks. Weeks, while strangers trampled my land. I forced my voice steady. Fine. Start it. And give me the HOA request. Name, signature, everything. He slid me a manila envelope, and, I swear, it felt heavier than any tool I'd carried. I opened it in the truck. The name at the bottom, Karen Worthington, HOA president. Now I knew who was behind the curtain. The drive home felt longer, every crack in the road like a warning. When I got there, the mailbox was smashed, papers scattered, and right in the ditch, my land assessment, ripped in half. The east gate was bent, the post chipped raw. I pulled the trail cam memory card, flipped through hours of shadows, until I saw a figure, hood pulled low, rifling my mailbox. Didn't take money, didn't take checks, took documents. My documents. That's when it hit me. This wasn't theft, this was a message. They wanted me rattled. I spent the next hours like a man preparing for siege. New locks, fresh batteries in the trail cams, signs on every gate, and the Remington, in plain sight on the ATV, up on the ridge. Let them come. That evening, bourbon in hand, Mabel curled tight against my boot, I watched the road like a soldier at the edge of enemy territory. That's when I realized this wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a takeover. 2 days later, the phone buzzed. My neighbor Rhonda. Jack, there's a bulldozer on your land. I damn near ran a red light getting home. There it was, a yellow beast grumbling in the middle of my field. Men in hard hats tearing up my garden, my mother's mulberry tree marked with spray paint. I didn't yell. I just went for the gun. But by the time I stepped outside, 2 sheriff's cruisers pulled in. Deputy Frank Whelan, hand on his holster. Put the gun down, Jack. They're tearing up my land. They've got documentation, he said. This is an authorized site. You need to take it to court. My jaw clenched, my hands shook. You mean a piece of paper is all it takes? I don't make the rules. File a complaint. I laid the Remington on the porch and watched as the workers went back to digging, slower this time. When they left, I sent the drone up, caught everything on video, and drove it straight to my lawyer, Daniel. That night, he filed for an injunction, trespassing, destruction of property, unlawful expansion. By midnight, I'd swapped every lock, set up cloud backups, posted signs, and still, it wasn't enough. The next morning, a new email. I'm not part of this. Come alone. An address, no name. Sounded like a setup, but I went anyway. Office park, gray concrete, lawyer's plaque. Inside, a woman, Jen Walker, paralegal for the HOA, hands trembling, voice low. They faked everything, Jack. Every document, every map, even your signature. She slid me a flash drive, emails, voice memos, the whole scheme. They said, by the time anyone untangles this, the pool will be halfway done. What's your angle? I asked. I tried to flag it. They threatened to ruin me. But I can't be part of this. That was the twist I didn't see coming. Someone on the inside, risking everything. She was the proof. With her flash drive, Daniel filed for a restraining order, and this time, the judge slapped it up quick. All work stopped. My gate posted with the county seal. But by morning, the order was ripped down and a new HOA notice stapled in its place. Phase 1. Construction resumes. The bulldozers fired up. It was bait. They wanted me to snap. But I didn't. I filmed every move, uploaded it live, drove it straight to Daniel. More filings, contempt charges. The fight wasn't about property now. It was about power and who got to wield it. The podcast hit next. My VFW buddy sent my story to a property rights show. Veteran faces land theft by HOA execs. The clip went viral. Emails from across the country. Homeowners saying they'd been steamrolled, too. Local news showed up, camera in my face. I told it plain. If they think they can bully people into giving up what's theirs, they're in for a surprise. Some of us don't fold. Suddenly, Karen Worthington was public enemy number 1. Leaked emails showed how the board hid land grabs in budget votes, how they signed amendments without reading them. That's when Thomas Gardner, an old board member, knocked on my door, folder in hand. I trusted her. Signed things I shouldn't have. But I'll testify. Now it was bigger, not just my fight, but a community ready to burn down a kingdom built on lies. The day in court came fast. Karen in her blazer, Clevenger, her shark of a lawyer, ready to tear me apart. Judge didn't buy a word of it. Jen's testimony, the forged deeds, Gardner's guilt. The forensic analyst, this is a forgery. My drone footage. The HOA's own zoning clerk, voice shaking. It was pushed through after a lunch with Karen. The judge didn't even blink. Ruling came like thunder, all claims invalidated. Construction permits revoked. Karen, guilty of conspiracy, forgery, abuse of process. Engineering firm suspended. $3 million in damages. Criminal charges. Karen sat frozen, a queen without her crown. Spring came late that year. Karen pled down. 7 years, no parole. The HOA dissolved, the kingdom fell. Gardner took over, voted to dissolve. Jen started her own consulting firm, helping homeowners fight back. I rebuilt. First the fence, then the shed, then the mulberry tree. Hired a welder to make a gate. Private land, not subject to HOA. Smile for the drones. You know what I mean? The world moved on. Checks from the court came in. The news cycle rolled over, but the scars in my field slowly disappeared under green shoots. People called me a hero. I never bought it. Heroes run into burning buildings. I just stood my ground. But maybe that's what it takes. Every morning, I sit on the porch, Mabel at my feet, coffee in hand, the brass plate catching the sunrise. Sometimes neighbors wave. Sometimes they stare, not sure if I'm the troublemaker or the man who saved their land, too. Doesn't matter. It's mine. One night, I painted "Don't Tread on Me" under the eaves. A week later, someone spray-painted it across the old HOA community center's door. Wasn't me, but I grinned. The kingdom's gone, the crown shattered. I rebuilt, slow and steady, piece by piece until it felt like home again. You want to know what justice feels like? It's not a cheer in the courtroom. It's a stubborn, slow sunrise on land nobody's taking. Not today, not tomorrow. They thought paper and signatures could erase roots and memory. But land remembers, and so do I. So, yeah. Now, when the wind moves through the grass, I just smile for the drone. Now tell me, where do you stand? When power comes for your fence line, your roots, your story, do you fold or do you fight? Drop your thoughts below. Is justice just a word, or does it still mean something where you live?